doesn't really bother me. If I know people who know you, they can tell me about you. But it can be a very effective tool. AngelList can be a very effective tool. What a lot of people are looking for is sort of that whole commitment thing, you know, the classic joke, you know, chicken is interested in breakfast, but the pig is committed. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, they want to know if you're the pig, right? And once they're convinced of that, then they want to know whether your product has traction. AngelList is always looking, you also interested people looking for access to interesting deals, and they come from different parts of the country and around the world. So it's, you know, it gives you sort of that broad-based, you know, access. But you have to sell, at the end of the day, it's good. You have to have a great product. It has to matter to enough people, and you have to be passionate about following through. And you can raise your seed round. That won't be enough for an A. Not anymore.
What do you think is a good seed round amount nowadays?
You know, that's the actual other shift I've been telling entrepreneurs. There's another, my CEO who sold a company and going out to raise another round. Telf comes in and says, Eghosa, I'm going to go out and do the seed, and 1.5 million. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, if that seed is less than 3 million, don't come out of your house. And here's the reason why. We talked about this earlier. The expectations are so much more that you need more resources, longer runway, engineers. So you can't, I mean, there's a good friend of mine who raised a $6.4 million seed, which I've just mortified at. But it's a small business play, and it's going to be grinding for a long time. Now, most people can't get, you know, that was a Y Combinator company, so it came with a lot of hype and all that good stuff. But, you know, I would say that the new seed round needs to be 3 million, which is what the A used to be.
Right, is that even a seed anymore?
Years ago. Right. There's a gap in the financing ecosystem, and the gap really is for, it's funny because I actually tried to raise some money for that specific strategy, and the LPs were like, oh, we don't see it. Now they do. Which is what I call the Premi A, or the Seed Plus. Right? You've done some stuff. It's not interesting enough for the big funds. On average, we dilute you by a third. You know, but it's, you know.
Would you say every round what?
We'll dilute you roughly by about a third. But you know, you can focus on dilution, or you can focus on shutting down the company. You pick which one.
What about some sort of mentor round or pre-seed round, which is now getting popularity?
Yeah, Dave McClure does a lot of those. You know, that's great. It's just for guys and girls to come in at a cheap price. It's a good signal because for angels who are looking for social proof, they're like, who did that deal, da 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 da. But you know, all that does is, you know, the mentor advisory rounds are small, usually a couple $100,000. You know, they'll buy you 6 months of runway. That's great. But you got to be focused on what that looks like: runway, execution, product delivery. It's nothing else. You live and die on those.
But I mean, do you think that actually this Series A round now moved and became like this mentor round? It just stayed the same, but changed the name.
No, nomenclature matters. By the way, nomenclature, what you call these things, that matters a lot. So you need to be thinking about sort of mentor advisory, and the next stage is the Series Seed before you get to the A. But you don't want to call your seed an A because then guys, you know, they went to school. They're like, well, after A is B. You know? And so they're like, well, okay, if A is the new B, B is the new D. You know, so they're going to have D expectations. And you're like, well, I don't have that. So you want to be careful of that.